Hello, hello. Hope everyone's having a great day. Just getting done doing the basic, the dailies that we have to do. Looks like the chickens are looking good. You can see right here. The chickens are right through there. Looks like they're eating really good. So, yeah, the chickens are fed over there. You got to turn to compost. Let's see how this works over here. Looking good. Where did the little plastic piece go? I used to have my little plastic piece. Huh. Anyways, got to turn to compost, which is right here. All I do is turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. And inside of here, you can see outside. Hey, what's up? What you up to? What's up? Hey, what's up? Time regrets. Welcome back in. This is my little compost right here. You can see here that I had to put some sand in it, but this is where I take my scraps and I put it inside of here. And essentially, we kind of turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. And what that does is that allows me to take all my scraps and I can put the scraps inside of there. And when I turn it, and sometimes I mix it with sand and stuff, and that kind of helps me. And then we had to feed the chickens, which are right here. How you guys doing? Feel free to ask me anything in the chat. Here's a little chicken. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? We got that there. Got to check for the eggs. Signal gets a little weak when we get back there. So, still got a little bit of snow left over. See, we had a little bit of snow over there. Still got a little bit of snow. Those are the gardens we're working on right there. Them are the gardens. Them's the gardens right there. Them's the gardens. Hello, hello, hello. So you can see here, we have these raised beds, and we're kind of putting wood and cardboard and stuff in them. And what that does is you got to make a layer of compost underneath. So we take the wood. That's probably a lot better. Hello. Off-road. That's probably a lot better. Hello. Off-roading madness. Hello, hello, hello. Cool. Can you guys hear me a little bit better now? Hopefully you can hear me. I think my headphones are on. So we had to go feed the chickens, which are over there. Off-roading madness. Welcome back, ma'am. Welcome back. So hopefully you guys can hear me better. I just realized that my settings had my headset on, so. But yeah, we had to do the morning routine, which involves over there. We had to feed the chickens, do some greenhouse stuff. Still a little bit of snow out here. Whew. There we go. There we go. And now we're back in the house. Finished our morning routine. Finished the morning routine. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Nice house. Oh, thank you. Well, you know, it's nice to have a little bit of land and be able to, how do I say this, kind of stay off the grid a bit. I like to stay off the grid a little bit, even though I do a lot of content over here. For me, it's one of those things where, you know, I try to stay in shape and film some of this content. So, but, uh-oh. Do, Feel free to ask me anything in the chat. We just got done feeding the chickens. And after we got done feeding the chickens, gotta feed the chickens. You know, had to feed the chickies. Chicky bok bok. There we go. Nice house, view message. Oh boy, is someone being rude? Man, I've always wanted to be jacked like you. Oh, you think I'm jacked? Well, brother, I'm really not that big. I appreciate it, but I'm really not that jacked. I'm only 215 pounds at 6'4", but I mean, if you want to get in shape, I'll tell you what I do to stay in shape. Keep in mind, I don't really lift weights anymore. I do more calisthenics, but yeah, if you just want to be in shape, just start doing push-ups and pull-ups, man. But yeah, just start doing push-ups and pull-ups. I think push-ups and pull-ups go a long way. In sprints, push-ups, pull-ups, and sprints. I don't even go to a gym anymore. I haven't lifted weights right now in about 2 months. And yeah, I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder or put on a bunch of weight for no reason. I train to be more functional. I do a lot of, I chop wood, I do a lot of squats, and I do a lot of jumping and try to stay athletic because I'm almost 40. You know what I'm saying? After all that. What do you mean, man? You great shape. I appreciate it, man. Hi, turbo amount crashes. Well, I appreciate that. I'm not gonna say I'm in bad shape, but I'm just saying, like, if people look at my physique and they're like, holy crap, you're jacked. I'm like, well, guys, I'm really not that big, but I am in shape. So I tell you guys, to have a physique like mine, if you focus on push-ups and pull-ups and sprints and body weight movement, you'll be surprised. And then, of course, you need to eat somewhat decent. You want to eat somewhat decent, you know. I eat a lot of eggs, personally. I have chickens and they give me eggs. So just become a vampire. Well, I will tell you one thing that helps you with aging that I have found to be true, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion, one of the things that I think help you stay in shape is this. I think limiting processed sugar and focusing more on, instead of focusing on just lifting heavy weight, focusing on moving your body. I do fast. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. I typically don't eat in the morning. I drink some caffeine or some tea. I like to train whenever I can. And I have a home gym. So when I want to do a workout, I do 20, 30-minute workouts. And I'd rather do 2 or 3 20-minute workouts in a day than 1 2-hour workout. Shorter workouts more frequently. And try to get better at something. For example, hola, how was your day? I'm super skinny and I want to get fit like you. How to do so? Well, depending on your age, if you're kind of like, I was really skinny when I was younger. If you're someone who is really skinny, then you just got to eat more. Don't force feed food and try to get fat, but focus on peanuts and peanut butters, avocados. Get your proteins from eggs. Don't be scared of butter and steak and stuff, and try to eliminate the processed garbage. The processed sugar and the processed garbage does havoc on your system. So what I would recommend is eliminate those if you can. And yeah, do full body workouts. Your body, in my opinion, guys, I'm going to put this light on real quick. Give me 1 second. And once I put this on, I'm gonna bring you guys over here. And then I'm probably gonna cook real quick. I'm gonna cook real quick. Put this over here. Be right back, guys. Also, let me know where you're coming in from. I love to hear from you. I love to hear from the people around the country and around the world who come into my chat. Remember, this is a family-friendly chat. So, because this is family-friendly, guys, please don't do any. I know there's some freaks that come into the chat. Just don't do anything
what do I say? Be polite and be courteous if you're in the chat. That's all I ask. Is that too much to ask for? Is it too much to ask for people just to be polite and courteous? That's all I ask for. Thank you. I'm from India, Turbo. Okay, so if you're from India, then yeah, feel free. Like if you're someone that you feel is really skinny, look, I was skinny for a long time. I've actually got up to 300 pounds when I was doing competitive lifting. And then I cut my weight back down to about 215, 220. The key to getting a physique that's gonna hold muscle is just this, man. If you wanna be an athlete, don't just go fast, don't go slow. Learn to control your body weight and learn to be explosive. So for example, when you do jumping, get to where you can jump up. Like people don't realize like you can move your body fast, you can move it slow. So like when you're doing push-ups, I see a lot of people when they do push-ups like this, they're like, instead, when you want to do push-ups, what I recommend is do push-ups like this. Come down, get nice and controlled, and then focus on learning how to contract your muscles. It's not just about pushing weight, it's also about contracting muscles. And once you can contract muscles under control, make what you're doing a little bit harder. I'm a big believer in progressive overload. Whatever you're doing, get better at it. Whatever you're working at, get better at something. Getting better at something will allow you to get a stronger body. Just get better at something, whatever you're doing. And it's not just more reps, it could be adding a backpack. It could be adding a backpack. You ever put a backpack on and try to do push-ups and pull-ups? It's a really good idea. Anyways, next question. Yeah, for sure, man. I'm glad you came to the chat too. Yeah, I am a certified strength and conditioning coach. So that is one thing that I used to do. And I tell people all the time, look, I'm not extremely jacked. I'm not. I'll be the first to say that. There's a lot of people who are larger than I am. But for me, to have a physique like mine at almost 40 years old, you see how I have a little bit of indentions and a little bit of definition? I don't really lift weights. All of this is just from pull-ups on trees, and I do sprints. The one exercise that will change your life is a sprint. What you want to do is you want to get on one leg, and you want to do one-legged sprints uphill. One-legged sprints. One-legged sprints are a great exercise. So one-legged sprints and body weight, and then eat. Eat rice, eat beans, eat meat, eat fruit. All of that stuff will give you a wonderful, wonderful physique, and try to cut out the processed sugar. Cutting out the processed sugar is one of the main things that kill people's progress. Badai, oh, we are neighbors. Thank you, I'm super glad, thank you. Turbo in India, Delhi. Yeah, Chess Devil is one of my long-term viewers. And yeah, he's a really cool dude, so 100%. Also, just something I'll tell you, if you want to have a better physique, again, I'm not that large. I mean, I'm 220 pounds right now, but what I recommend is training your back. If you want a good physique, you see how my shoulders are really wide and I have a back? Your physique will always look better if you train your back to be wide. So train to be wide, because when you're wide, your shoulders are gonna look good. And from an aesthetic perspective, don't spend too much time on your traps. Your traps are great for powerlifting, I get it. But if you're someone who wants to look better, typically you wanna have wide shoulders. If you want that cool taper look, train on going wide. So that means wide pull-ups, neutral grip, chin-ups. So this, when your palm is up, that's called supination. That's called supination, and this is called pronation. You want supinated, pronation, neutral, and just start getting your body to feel lighter. And that over time ends up being well. Let's see. Yay, we got money. All right, please feed the chickens. Got those. Yep, we got the chickens fed. We got to do the compost. All righty, got that. All right, We need that. We need that. Okay. 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 So I always recommend making a list in the morning a day. To gas mask hin. Buddy built like Gumby. Well, I do more martial arts and boxing. So when I'm training to be able to have a strong back, because the purpose of this muscle right here, which happens to be the largest muscle on my body, the purpose of this muscle is to throw a punch. So I train to throw punches. So I hit heavy bags. I do a lot of heavy bag hitting. So for me, I train more. All these muscles were built from explosive movements. So I train more like an athlete. I'm not a bodybuilder. The big bulk just to get swollen stuff, I mean, I get it. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I used to train like that. But for a good, strong, athletic, practical body, that's just not the way I like to train. I'm almost 40 years old, guys. So become vegan if you care about the animal kingdom. Well, I can understand that. I can see the moral and ethical reasoning to become a vegan. That being said, I'm not going to be a vegan. I was a vegan for 9 months one time and my body felt like doo-doo. But I'll tell you this, if you can be vegan and you can stick to that, by all means, that's hard. To me, it would be very hard for me to be a vegan unless I had just so much rice and beans and then to eat all that calories and all that food. I feel like I don't think I would look the same. But that's my humble opinion. I could be wrong. I was vegan for about 9 months one day. It was like 6 or 9 months. I did go vegan for a while. I'll say this, cardiovascularly, you'll feel good, but my body runs better off things like eggs, and I do eat some meat and stuff like that. Hello. What is this? Your substitute full cream as the healthiest, purest, strongest dank cream. What is this? Stop biting my cream team style. You cannot defeat the OG cream. Yeah, I don't know who you are, but because you're being sexually explicit, I'm going to report you for sexually explicit content. That's reported. Thank you. And yeah, you're going to be gone. Yeah, guys, look, I don't care. I'm not here. I'm trying to get monetized, but look, if you're going to be nasty and disgusting in this chat, I'm going to report you. I don't just ban you. I have to do a report. And, you know, Google and YouTube have your IP address. So you keep doing that stuff, you know what's going to happen? You're going to lose your account. And unless you have separate VPNs and different IP addresses, your account's going to get banned. So don't do that, man. I'm here taking my time to answer in the chat. Be somewhat respectful, man. Anyways. You look amazing. Hey, thank you. I'm trying my best, you know. We're going to get ready to eat. A lot of people always ask me what I eat. So, again, keep in mind, I'm not a bodybuilder. I am not somebody, I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't meal prep, really. But, well, I can't say I don't meal prep. I cook in bulk. But here's a look at my fridge, right? So, I have this, which is basically mashed potatoes, chicken, and green beans. And then I have beans and meat right there. So I have those cooked, some fresh fruit. I have a lot of eggs. You can see how many eggs I have. I eat a lot of eggs, right? Did you get a new dragon tattoo? No, I've had this tattoo. This tattoo is actually older. This tattoo is, I want to say this tattoo right here. This tattoo is about, I want to say 9 years old, 10 years old. I don't really plan on getting too many more tattoos, guys. But yeah, you know, just having a physique like mine, if I go out into the light and I get a pump, I look okay. But again, I don't really spend that much time on my body, guys. If I wanted to get the best physique and get larger or something, I would have it in a different program. There we go. Ping is back. Thank you, Ping. Thank you for the exploits. There you go. There you go. Boop, boop, boop. Next question. Next question. So, here's an idea of a meal I might eat first thing in the morning. I'll eat some of this. This is some Dave's Killer Bread, right? Dave's Killer Bread is not normal bread. It's not like the chemical enhanced bread that's in the stores. It's actually pretty clean. It's actually a pretty clean bread. Okie dokie. What I'll do is I'll take probably a couple slices of these, right? And I'll cut this bad boy on right here, which is my griddle, right? This is my griddle. And I'm gonna cut this on. And then because I have chickens, I always have fresh eggs. So instead of eating a protein shake, I would rather eat more fresh eggs for my protein. Kind of makes sense to me. Maybe it's weird, but it kind of makes sense to me to eat more real food if you have the ability to do so. If you have the ability to do so. Alrighty. Now, I'll put my shirt back on. This is an extra large shirt, so hopefully it doesn't make me look too skinny when I wear it, right? Next question. Why are there so many sus people coming to the chat recently? Thank you for subscribing. Yo, good morning, double tap. Well, it's not just this morning. The issue is just in general, and this is just how people are. I have a lot of people that come into the chats. And yeah, sometimes they're a little bit rude, but that's just how some people are, man. I'd like to think that people are rude to me because they just don't have a lot going on with themselves. And typically when people are rude, they're displacing their own internal inadequacies. So whenever you see someone being that rude or that mean, you just kind of automatically know, at least I do, you just kind of know that they're just in a bad spot in their life. So just do your best to kind of give them some love, and you know, if they're rude, I'm going to report them for sure. But yeah, so I'm going to have some toast. I've got some fruit. I'm going to take me some eggs right here. I have some fresh eggs, which is yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I've got my fresh eggs right here. Got the fresh eggs in the basket. So I'm a really big believer in fresh eggs. I do have chickens, so I'll take one little egg. My breakfast, I usually eat 4 to 6 eggs. So I eat about 10 eggs a day. Eggs is my favorite source of protein. For some reason, when I eat a bunch of eggs, my body just feels better. Eggs are absolutely amazing. I feed my compost, which is right here. So I'll show you guys later, this is my compost bin. So you can see I have pineapple, eggs, all this stuff I take and I recycle this. They're jealous. They could be jealous, man. Well, look, man, don't compare yourself to other people. Never compare yourself to other people. I mean, if you're someone that's jealous because somebody is, you know, look, man, don't be the type of person that's jealous because other people are doing stuff that you're not willing to do. Instead, I've never met someone that's successful that wasn't willing to share if people were willing to listen. You know, just for what it's worth. Anyways, so I have a couple pieces of toast there. So that's 2 pieces of toast. I got 2 more pieces of toast. So my breakfast is going to be probably a couple more eggs. And this is where some people sometimes say, oh my God, Chris, I can't believe you eat that. But I also eat bacon. Bacon, eggs, toast, and honey. To me, that is a wonderful meal. I've got some bacon here from the store. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of bacon and eggs. And again, guys, but you got to remember, the reason I'm able to stay in shape is I don't eat all the time. I only eat like twice a day, and I only eat when I'm hungry. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. So I personally am a huge, huge fan of fasting. I fast, and then when I eat, I'm going to eat whole foods. Bacon, eggs, toast, and grits are much better. Well, here's the thing, brother. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't like grits. I do have grits, but here's the thing. To stay in shape, cannot eat grits and bacon together. You see, when I make my meals, I use one carbohydrate. So if I wanted grits, which I do eat, I wouldn't eat the bread. And if I wanted bread, I don't eat the grits. So I eat the proteins, the fats, and I pick a carb source. So you don't want to overload up on your carbs just to load up on them. Because that's how you get fat. And I've lost about 100 pounds. So in order for me to keep my physique at close to 40, but yeah, oh man, as far as grits, listen, I already know. So what I'll do is I take my honey, toast, eggs, bacon, and I'll make a big old platter, and that's gonna be my heavy meal. My heavy meal is typically in the middle of the day, and around that, I usually just drink coffee, drink tea, or make a smoothie or snack on fruit. I only eat heavy meals every now and then, and the rest of the time I stay hydrated, and that's what keeps my waist so small. So my waist is only 33 inches, but my shoulders are 51 inches wide. So to have that taper, you can't always just fill your gut with food. So I use this because I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm more of a sculptor. I like to have that wide shoulder and that narrow waist. I like that old school look. I don't like that super big, I like the gymnast look. The gymnast and the track athletes, and I do a lot of sprinting. So I don't want to be big just to be big. What is grits? Goes really good with breakfast, a lot of us. Oh, absolutely. Grits are amazing. Yeah, it's basically ground corn. So here you go, man. So I've got 4 pieces of toast, right? 4 pieces of toast, and I got some honey. A lot of people think this is funny, but I'll put some honey on my toast. I love honey. And because I'm gonna train later, I'll be able to use this energy. Here in about an hour or so, I'm gonna go do a bunch of push-ups and pull-ups. So that's good for that. So I'll do 4 pieces of toast. I got my eggs over here cooking with my bacon. So we'll pop that there, pull this in, we'll bam, tighten, wrap, hit down, bacon, pull the heat down, get my egg going. So I like to cook my eggs and my bacon together. That one got a little bit crisp, no big deal. Pop them suckers, and these eggs, these are from my chickens. These are fresh eggs from the chicken. So again, I recommend you guys get some chickens if you can, man, because in my opinion, chickens are the best animal to have. Because you can feed your chickens scraps, and then your chickens will make you eggs. And eggs are the best source of protein on the planet. There is nothing, eggs aren't just protein. Eggs are a vitamin. Eggs are a nutritional powerhouse. Hence why I have buckets and buckets of eggs. Not to say steak's bad, not to say they're not. A little bit of bacon and a lot of eggs. Boy, you can build a really good physique just eating eggs and toast. And then, for your veggies, you can put them in smoothies. I don't really eat vegetables or fruit. Instead, I turn them into smoothies and drink them. So when I do eat, I eat more carbs and proteins and fats of whole food. And if it's not around that window, I typically drink smoothies that are made of fruit and vegetable. And I might put some protein powder in it here and there. Exactly. I love honey on my toast. Very good. AJ White. I had some chickens, but my dog, what happened? Oh yeah, dogs will do that. That's why you got a predator proof. We had to predator proof our thing because we have people. I have animals try to get my chickens all the time. Yeah, that's true. Exactly, much darker yolks, harder shells. Absolutely. The dark yolks, absolutely. A positivity. Quail eggs are actually, yeah, so I've heard that about quail eggs. I've actually never had quail eggs, but I've always wanted to try them. Have you guys ever eaten quail eggs? I see them at the store sometimes, but I've got so many damn eggs as it is. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? But I could go for some quail. I would try that. I like banana and garlic. That's interesting. Love from the Arctic Circle, Finland. The world is a mess, and I hope kindness. Oh, Rizal, yes, the world is a mess a little bit, but hey, program to say what you want the world to be, if you can. It's getting better. Focus on staying positive. Staying positive is a superpower. Staying positive is a superpower. Keep it together in your mind. Keep it together in your mind. It will work out. It's going to work out. It's going to work out. It's going to work out. Do your best. So I take my toast and I take those eggs. I had a little bit of scrape there because that little bitty piece of bacon, there's one little spot. I've had this griddle for about 6 years and I use it every day. I love this griddle. I'm so thankful for my griddle. So we put a little bit of bacon on top, just like that. And that's going to be my breakfast. So my breakfast is kind of just some eggs and bacon on top of honey toast. And then in order to serve it up, these are my spices. My spices is going to be a little bit of hot sauce, which has salt and garlic. So if you look at this one has salt and garlic and distilled vinegar and cayenne pepper. And then I'm a huge fan of mustard because mustard, and my Indian guys in here from India, turmeric. Did you know mustard has turmeric in it? And what do we know about turmeric? It's an anti-inflammatory. So I take that and I'll take this. This one's about done. So I'll put some water in that bad boy. Put some water and shake it. Because this is really good mustard. Mustard's got all sorts of spices and turmeric in it. So I'll take my mustard. I'll just drench this with mustard, honey, and hot sauce. Hardly any calories. And this breakfast is a wonderful addition to a good program. And there we go. We'll pop this open, pull that there, cut this off. Got to cut that off. Then I'll take this, put this over here into the sink. I've got my grease rag. My grease rag's going to take all of this while it's still somewhat warm. We'll pull this out. And that's breakfast. That is breakfast. Here in a second, I'm going to eat, guys. When I sit down and eat, you guys are welcome to tell me anything about your day, whatever's going on. Oh, how many calories is my breakfast? I don't really know, and I don't really care. So for me to keep my physique, right, I don't count calories. So in order for me to stay in somewhat shape at close to 40, I don't count my calories. I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think it's the way to do a program. Instead of counting calories, what I do is I eat when I'm hungry, and if I do more physical activity, then I eat more, and if I do less physical activity, I eat less. So I'm not a really big fan of counting my calories. I don't eat a lot. I only eat like once or twice a day, and I listen to my body. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. And I only eat big meals every now and then. And if I'm not eating a big meal, I'm typically just snacking on fruits or vegetables or smoothies. So counting calories isn't really important. Because at the end of the day, every single day, your body is going to be using a different amount of energy. So what's more important in counting calories is just understanding when you're hungry, you should eat. And when you're not hungry, you shouldn't eat. And make sure you don't confuse hunger with thirst. I didn't know Buster didn't go bat. So how long should the sprints be? AJ White, I'll tell you. The sprints, I like to do sprints by distance. So what I'll do is I'll do 50 meter or 100 meter. There's a track down here by the school. I'll go down to the high school track where the football and baseball fields are. And what I'll do is I'll get on the 100-yard line and I'll do a 100-meter sprint. And I'll try to go 80, 90%, a pretty fast run. And then after that, I will rest until I feel recovered. So you got to understand, when you feel strong again, you do it again. And sprinting is one of the best things you're going to do for your body. And then I do one-legged sprints too. So my one-legged sprint is when I go like this. I'll take one leg and I'll do 100-meter sprints just on one leg. And when I'm doing that, I'm trying to get a lot of power. So because I don't really lift weights a lot, I focus on how fast and how much force I can generate through my body. And I think it's a superior way to train for power output for athletes. Maggie Rose, good morning. Good morning, Maggie. Good morning. You did the mile at your school, 11 minutes and 20 seconds. So I can run a mile in about 6 minutes. My mile time is about 6 minutes, and I'm almost 40, and I'm 220 pounds. So that's not, 11:20 is kind of slow, but it doesn't really matter. What you want to do is, if you want to be a better, 11:20 is not a great time. You should work on that if you want to be a runner. But I'll say this, if you want to be a better runner, go to a track where you have the straightaways and the curves. And what you want to do is you want to sprint the straightaways like pretty fast and then slowly do the curves. So I'm a big believer in, instead of just keeping a short, look, if you want to be a long distance runner, that's fine. I used to do long distance running. Oh, well, that's good. If you went from a 23-minute mile to 11-minute mile, well, hey, that is very good. And I will give you a hand clap for that, because going from a 23-minute mile to 11-minute mile, that's hella progress. Absolutely. Now that is where it's at. And that's the point of how I train. I don't care how much I lift. I don't care what I'm doing. The only thing I care about is whatever I'm doing this week, the next weeks following, I get better. The whole purpose of training isn't about just doing endless reps. It's just about getting better at an activity. For example, if you can only do 10 pull-ups, right? Start doing 3 pull-ups every day, 3 times a day. If you do 3 pull-ups every day, 4 times a day, let's say, 3 in the morning, 3 before lunch, 3 at lunch, 3 after lunch, 3 before bed, at the end of the day, you've done 18 pull-ups. But you already know you can only do 10 pull-ups at once. So if you start doing more and more frequently, you'll get better at the activity. And I believe that when you get better at an activity, the body tends to adjust. But I gotta go, and not go off the stream, but I gotta feed the chicken. I need to put my compost up. So I'm gonna go outside real quick, and you guys can see, hopefully the Wi-Fi signal keeps up. Oh yeah, so for a female, and don't think I'm racist or prejudiced or sexist. For a female playing soccer, an 8 or 9 minute mile, that's fair. I knew a cross country girl who was faster than me, and she could run a mile in under close to 5 minutes. Boy, she was fast as hell. Now she wasn't very large and she wasn't very big, but I tell you what, she could run like a rabbit. I was always fascinated with her ability to run. But anyways, let me guys know, sometimes the Wi-Fi gets out. Oh, soccer's great. And welcome back to the chat, Maggie. So Maggie, we had some chickens. So there's the chickens over there. And this is my little compost. So I'm gonna show you what I do over here. But I think the Wi-Fi signal, a lot of times the Wi-Fi signal will act up. So I think I can only go to about this stump. So let's get here. So we've got this, right? So what I do is I come over here, turn this. you want to turn it, and I take this sucker right here, right? And I open it up, and then I'll take this right here, and I'll dump all my compost in it. Right? Put that in here. Then close it. And then do a little shuffle. What this does is allows your compost, and you can reuse your scraps. Just like that. Just like that. Pop that in there. Put my stick on it. Right through there. Yes. That's how you reuse your scraps. There we go. Yep, so the chickens is over here. They're over here. Let me know if you're in the chat. Does the Wi-Fi cut off when I go over there? Because it says we have signal, but let's on the studio Wi-Fi. And for some reason, because we live out in the middle of the country, if I'm not within a certain distance of my modem, it does pretty bad. So it is what it is. And then what we do is we take the compost, and right over here, these are the raised garden beds. So eventually that compost is going to go over there. So, whew. Yeah, cool. Appreciate that. So then I'll take this, I'll come over here, take my little hose, and I got my hose right here. Kind of rinsey. Here. There we go. There we go. Pretty simple, right? There we go. Then we come back inside. And now this right here, this needs to soak for a little bit. So we'll put that there, put that there. We'll have this over here. So now the compost where I save all my food and my scraps is good, right? So I try to reuse my eggshells. I try to feed my chickens the things that they need to give me eggs, because I eat like 6 to 10. Sometimes I eat a dozen eggs a day. I eat a lot of eggs, guys. Eggs are a huge staple in my diet. For anyone who cares. All right. So that's there. We got this. Very cool, very cool. Compost needs to be cleaned. We'll put this over here. Put that there. Okie dokie. That's good. Let's take one more wipe down of the kitchen. Because I cook a lot every time, I'll say this, every single time, where did my cleaner go? There it is. Every time that I cook, I always clean. I'm kind of like OCD with my kitchen. I cook a lot. I can't stand grease, and because I do cook with butter and stuff, so after I cook, I always clean. Clean a little bit every time you cook. Then you never have to have a big clean day. So a happy kitchen is a good kitchen. So we've cooked breakfast, we fed the chickens, we've got the dogs going, we've done the compost. Our breakfast is ready to eat now. We've got this. And we are cleaning, wiping, always wiping down. You gotta keep things somewhat clean, man. Because if you don't, things just go to shit. Always try to keep things clean. This is also great cleaner, Myers. Right through here. Very good. Okie dokie. Simple as that, right? Breakfast made, everything taken care of. Good. All right, so, now I can enjoy you guys. I can enjoy you guys right here. And I'm gonna go sit down and eat. And you guys have my full attention. Just had to knock out some of my morning routine real quick. Okay. Let's see here. Get my fork and my coffee. Gonna be right back, guys. Right back. Okie dokie, artichoke, okie dokie, artichoke. Boop, 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 doo, doo, doo. Yummy, yummy, time to eat. Time to eat. Time to eat. Time to eat. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So, put this here. Here we go. Here we go. Alrighty. So now we're gonna have a snack. I say snack. Sometimes I think my snacks are a little bit larger than other people's snacks. I do like to eat. When I do decide to eat a good meal, I do like to eat. So we'll put this here. Okie dokie. Put that there. I wonder why this is acting up today. Oh, there we go. That's why. Okie dokie. I don't really like the way that looks though. I think we're just gonna put it right here. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do that. Okie dokie, guys. Now you guys got me. Got my paperwork here. Get eggs there. Making my checklist. There we go. Yo, got me hungry. I got you hungry? Well, that's okay. It's okay. Me too, man. What's for breakfast? Well, Maggie, that's a great question. What's for breakfast for me? Well, breakfast for me is pretty simple. I have some Dave's Killer Toast, okay, with some bacon, and I have some fresh eggs, and essentially I drizzle it all down with honey and mustard and hot sauce. And this is a great, this is a great breakfast because it doesn't have too many calories. It's got protein, fat, and carbs, a variety of vitamins and minerals, spices, salt, pepper, and because of the mustard, it's got turmeric. It's just a really good, heavy meal for the middle of the day. And see, up to this point, I fasted. So, a lot of times in my day, there we go. I knocked myself over. A lot of times for me, let me put gonna make the Wi-Fi better. Sorry, guys. I have two routers, and it was still connected to the one outside. So, there. No, so for me, my breakfast is typically, coffee and water or tea. I don't really eat. I mean, I eat when I'm hungry, but a lot of times I fast, and if I'm not hungry, I don't eat. Oh. I'm in the South. I'm in Georgia. I am in the South. I am in the state of Georgia. Georgia. Hello, Georgie. Georgie. Hi, Georgie. Well, unknown user, let's talk about it. Unknown user, why do you get up in the morning? Not what gets you up, but why. You guys know I am a speaker, and I do a lot of speaking at public events. But legally, I can't put that on camera. Let's talk about it. Yeah, sometimes it can be hard to get up in the morning, but this is a spot where if you want to talk about it, great chance to talk about it. I'm not going to make fun of you. If anything, I'd like to give you a piece of advice so you get value. And then maybe you come back to the channel and tell your friends, and then maybe I can get monetized. We all float down here in Georgia. We all float down here in Georgia. Well, the thing is, man, it's pretty simple, okay? In my opinion, if you have a hard time waking up in the morning and getting out of bed, you probably don't have something, or you don't have a responsibility, or you don't have something or a purpose. So my humble opinion is try to figure out something that is really important to you. It could be family. It could be music. It could be creativity. It could be a pet or an animal. You need something that reminds you that you're important in the world and there's a reason for you to get up. And what that thing is, it can be important to you. It doesn't matter if it's important to somebody else. You know, what's important is that you have a reason to get up in the morning. And you have to tell yourself every time that you wake up, it's another opportunity to work on this. And that's a very healthy mindset to have. No, that's not your why. That's different, unknown user. That's what gets you up. That's not your why. Getting up because you have to is not your why. That's your what. You, my friend, need to figure out what your why is. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your pet. Maybe it's your future version of yourself. The why is different than the what. Oh, there you go, yes. We all float down here in Georgie. Hey, Georgie. Why would I want to get monetized? Because it's a goal. I am a goal-oriented person. When I have a goal, my goal creates a why. So my why to get monetized is because it's a goal. Simple as that. Getting monetized opens up the doors for a very big goal that I have with my business. So, Ocean VRFS. Yo, what's good? Welcome back, Ocean. Well, you remember them bagels? Mm-hmm. The same company that makes those bagels is the same company that I eat this bread from. Dave's Killer, or I have a local baker that bakes me homemade sourdough. I couldn't help notice that I'm considerably richer than you. Well, that's fine. What I would say is comparison is the thief of joy. So whether you're comparing yourself with others, that is not a good way to live your life. I don't care how much money somebody has, because how much money you have doesn't really change the opinion that I have of myself. There's a good example, guys, in the chat. Comparison is the thief of joy. The only thing you have to do is keep it in your own mind and understand that if you want to be the best version of yourself, you work on yourself. Don't worry about other people. Yeah, for sure, dude. And if someone's richer than me, I don't really care. If someone's poorer than me, I don't really care. Because I just don't care about that stuff, man. What I like to do is I like to take people and pick their brain. If someone adds value in my life, then they can be part of my circle. And if someone doesn't give me value, then I typically disconnect myself from them. I believe so. Maggie Rose, yep. Yeah, for sure, for sure. But who's ever the comedian working on his skit, that's cool. I think comedians are awesome. I like to watch a good comedian. I think watching comedy, watching comedians is far more entertaining than like watching TV. Ocean VRFS, good luck on your stream. Remember, if it's a goal to do it, you have to be consistent. So try to make a schedule where you do at least 30 minutes of streaming a day, every chance that you get, and follow your trends. You can do it. Yeah. And do me a favor, Ocean. Go into your back office and push the post button. You know, the arrow where you can do a live or a video or a short. Make a post and put @MindMusicMuscle and give me a shout out. And then when I see that in my feed, I'll come into your page and I'll do my best to go through. And as long as you have the comments enabled, I'll give you some thumbs ups and some likes. I tell all you guys on channels, if you give me a tag and @MyMusicMuscle, say, hey, I enjoyed your stream, or thank you for the advice. Thanks for spending time with me. By doing that, I see it in my community postings when people mention me, and I have thousands in there, but I've gone through every one, and every person that's ever tagged me, to my knowledge, I've gone to their channel, and if your content is not creepy and it's not weird, then I'll probably give you a subscribe. So that's where we can network together and both of us win. Nice. Has the stream been going good? What have you been talking about on your streams? What are you streaming about? Guys, feel free to ask me any questions. I'm going to engage with you while I eat. Oh. Understand this, guys. As much as I love everybody in the chat, when I am not streaming, I have a lot of stuff that I work on. So chances are you're not really going to see me in any of your streams, but I will go through, because I have very limited time. all my extra time has been dedicated as far as, because you guys know I do business, I sell insurance, I do speaking. I've had some relatives die recently that I have to help take care of with the family. So essentially, my time is limited. But what I tell you guys is if you do a post and you mention me, I will do my best to try to give you some feedback. All right. There we go. All right, guys, so that comes up to about an hour on our stream. I guess my question is, we have one person in here now. Most everybody else is left. So, Mew, that's a great question. That is an excellent question. Mew, how? It says 1992. If you don't mind me asking, Mew, why do you want to know that? Oh, so I guess my cat, this only says there's one person in here, but I guess there's more. Sometimes it lags. Yeah, let's talk about trading. Let's flip the script for a bit. How much clucks do you have outside? How many clucks? I have 5 clucks outside. 5. Mew. So Mew, I'm about 10 years younger than you. So Mew, let me ask you this. Do you have a nest egg? Like, do you have a 401? Look, I'm not trying to be weird or anything. I am a licensed insurance agent and I used to work in financial advising before I went into another sector. So if you want to ask me questions, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, comment, subscribe. And if you like what I tell you and you want to work with me personally, then message me on Instagram or Facebook, Mind, Music, and Muscle. And if you want to really get into the details, message me, okay? So I would tell you that I'm going to ask you some questions, but I understand this is live streaming. I don't want you to talk about personal details or anything like that. So let's keep it broad. You know what I mean? I don't care about how much money or anything. I care about percentages, just for the chat in general. So if you are somebody who are working with an advisor or you're on a stream, you know, it's not about I made $600,000 or I made $50,000. The question is, how much money did you have and what percentage? What was the ROI? Because typically when you invest in an index fund, you're looking at 5 to 7% exponential growth annually. So when people say I made 100,000 or 50,000, they may have only made 4%. So it's more about the percentage more than the money. All right, let's go here. 401k and small pension. Okay, cool. Mew, do you know if it's a traditional or a Roth? Do you have a traditional or a Roth? Or both? Chris, my first stream had a peak of 40 views. Yeah, so Ocean VFRS, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how many people are viewing your content. The only thing matters is that when you look in your back office, Ocean VRFS, do you know where your back office is? Do you know how to go to, you have YouTube Studio, right? Okay, well, given your time horizon, typically a Roth would have been a really good idea because remember, if you're trying to plan for the next few years and you're gonna, and I mean, I'm sure you're not gonna die in the next 20 years, right? You plan to live past 70, right? Okay, VRFS, go into your Y2 Studios and just make sure that the arrow goes up. Don't worry about the views, worry about entertaining or having people come back and empower people to come back to your stream. Don't worry about the views. Don't just chase numbers. Yes, look into your YouTube back office, but at the end of the day, just focus that you're doing better than last week because your YouTube metrics are going to be like 7 or 8 days behind. All you want to do is look at what it takes to be monetized, your hours or your watch, and just make sure you're making progress. Don't worry about what's going on now. worry about making progress from last week. And if you continue to make progress and you stack progress on top of progress on top of progress, before you know, you'll hit momentum. You can do it. Then look, you don't have to ask me. You're already doing the right thing. You just have to keep that up consistently over time. I was doing videos for almost 8 years and all I had was like 500 subscribers. It wasn't until my 9th and 10th year that I started streaming that people started coming back. So it took me almost 9 to 10 years before I started streaming. And then once I started streaming, I got to where last week I've had over 198,000 people view my profile. I think I have some metrics here I'll share with you. Hello, my handsome friend. Karen. Hello, Karen. How are you? I appreciate the compliment, Karen. All I ask is that you do keep it somewhat appropriate, not trying to make someone feel weird or anything. Yeah, right through here. So you see, we have 4,036 subscribers. And if you look at the analytics, you know, some of my views are getting 1,800, 42 likes. Every time I stream, I find more people coming in, right? So just to put that in perspective, also, guys, just to be random here, I was looking at this. Somebody sent me this on the sales team. It's White Castle, and you see right here, the White Castle drive-through Valentine's Day reservations. So if you're looking for that special someone for Valentine's Day, go to the White Castle. They're taking Valentine's Day reservations. I don't know why, but I just thought that was funny. Anyways, let's get back to the thing here. So if you're looking for that very special reservation spot, White Castle's taking it. No, Mew, you're not wasting my time, man. I'm trying to do what I do and try to stay somewhat entertaining. But yeah, message me, Mew. It's Mind, Music, and Muscle. It's Mind, Music, Muscle. Mind, Music, Muscle. But I would say this, is it on your leaving note, it's not too old to get into trading. I think that if you have a good brain as far as engineering and you're good at risk management, I can show you how to trade. But I'm a big believer that trading short term is not a good way to create wealth. You can make money trading, day trading, swing trading, but the wealth is made long term. But I do have a plan that I've written out. It was from my grandfather, who is a Vietnam Army demolition veteran that had his eye taken out because of shrapnel. I'll tell you this, I have an exact Blue Point plan to follow. And if you want to learn that, message me. But I will say this, I'm a big fan of having a Roth, a traditional. I'm a big fan of doing swing trading for small micro markets. And I'm also a big fan of dividend portfolios, and I'm really big on not making it complicated. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please message me, Mew1992. You remember that one duck. My first channel grew to 1.7 subscribers in under 3 months. And all I did was make shorts most days and went live talking to the camera a couple times a week. No, that's great, Maggie. I think that's the way to do it. So I have found that some of my best clips, if you want your YouTube channel to grow up, you're very welcome, you. And you're not wasting my time. I just, I try to answer everybody while I can into the chat. And the old ADHD brain sometimes, it's kind of my personality. I pretty good at business in a lot of ways, but my always thing is trying to stay focused on one thing, especially when I've got 90 things to do today. I have a checklist and, trying to get monetized and all this stuff. But I can tell you this, man, you're not too old to invest, man. I can show you, I even have a link that I could send you that if you wanted to learn how to day trade and you wanted to take that challenge, I can give you a link to a prop firm that I have an affiliate link with. But it all depends on your goals. Message me, man. Just message me and, we can talk. And God bless, man. I'm a Navy veteran too. I like to throw that out there. I was in the Navy for close to 10 years. So for what it's worth, I served the country. So I'd like to think I have some integrity. All right, guys. What happened to Cameron Porter? Cameron Porter still comes in. Cameron Porter is going through a lot of stuff. Mew, you're very welcome, Mew. My smile shines through your soul. I'm glad my smile shines through your soul. That's when I went live today, the first thing that I thought of was, man, how could I do something that gets to penetrate people's souls? So if my smile does that to you, then that's awesome. All right, I appreciate that. A lot of people like my smile. I usually am like this though. Yeah, I try to stay cool, but it is what it is. All right, let's not make this about me, guys. I'm like every other human being. I can get flattered with compliments and go off on a rant about myself, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to appear to be egocentric or narcissistic or anything like that. But I will tell you this, if you don't love yourself, nobody's going to love you. So you should be your biggest fan. You should know that you have all the power in the world to make anything that you need to happen. You should believe that in yourself. And if you do not believe that in yourself, if you do not love yourself, how is anyone else going to love you if you don't love yourself? www.dozeisfacts.com. Dozeisfacts.com. All right, guys. Got a little coffee in me, got some honey. I'm hocked up on bacon, eggs, mustard, and toast. So now that we got some energy and we got some synergy, was this the craziest smile? I swear that's the face of a man who has done so much for the world and made other people smile. Well, hey man, I believe that if you make other people smile, there's some power in that. There is so much power in taking your little body and brain, whether it's through YouTube or in the neighborhood. You got to make other people believe in themselves, guys, because at the end of the day, we're all connected to each other in some way. We all came from planet Earth. We didn't get born onto Earth. We came from the soil. We came from the dust. I mean, I don't want to get too philosophical and churchy bashy here, but I truly believe every one of us are connected. And if you can make one person smile and have a good day, and then they make someone else smile and have a good day, that kind of duplicates, and it's a kind of a beautiful thing. And yeah, well, that's all I have to say about that. You shall not, you shall not pass. You tell the evil spirits and the haters, you shall not pass. Sometimes you just got to do it, you know what I'm saying? These guys are probably like, what's wrong with Chris, man? Chris got caffeine and coffee in his system. Chris has a lot of energy in general, but when Coach Chris gets caffeine in him, he gets a little crazy. Alrighty, put this over here. Let me put this over here right here. All right. There we go. There we go. Hooah. By the way, guys, for the guy earlier that said I'm huge, I'm really not that big, man. I'm only like 218 pounds this morning at 6'4". What I am is I think I'm a little bit lean. I'm trying to get my abs to come in. We're coming in, you see. We're getting there. That's all them pull-ups, baby. For the record, I really don't lift weights very much. All I do is do push-ups and pull-ups and sprints for anybody that cares in the chat. Next question. I go live in 20 minutes. That is awesome that you go live in 20 minutes. Good luck on your chat, but also no self-promoting. No self-promoting on my channel. If you want to promote, tag me in a post. friend. No, you're good. No, I don't. It's fine. I don't mind that you want to self-promote. Trust me. I get it. All I'm saying is, for the chat, if you start self-promoting, then it's going to let everybody else start self-promoting. And that is a task that I do not want to be part of. Now, I will say this. Keep going streaming. Keep doing what you need to do. And tag me in a post. If you tag me in a post, and it's good and you're making traction, I will share your stuff. For sure. No, I feel you. And again, it's okay. I mean, tell people that you like to stream and people in here are going to like and subscribe. But if I open that door to everyone as I grow, I already know what's going to happen. People are going to start spamming because I had that issue in the past with another channel. So I just want to nip that into the bud. But no. It's okay, man. It's no big deal. Y'all guys who come into my chat should know by now I'm not really one to hold a grudge. The only thing that really kind of gets me is if people are being sexually explicit or they're doing things that make the other viewers uncomfortable. That is unacceptable. Oh, how do I feel? Okay, I didn't see it. Maggie. Oh, for sure. And again, do it. Go live. I would say right now, go live. If you're going to do it in 20 minutes, I would say screw it. Go live now. You don't got to stay on my chat. But if you've already got it scheduled, go, hi, what is this? I like to think veterans, when I see them, they have a hat or something that indicates I was quietly, discreetly. Well, here's the thing, Maggie. Here's my opinion on that. It's kind of weird when people ask me. I used to not like it. I used to feel weird. But the older I got, I learned to accept the fact that I did something that less than 1% of the population did. And it's important. So I learned to say, you're welcome. But keep in mind, a lot of people wear military hats who never served because they get them at places. So just because someone has the hat or the shirt or the uniform doesn't mean they served. But if you go up to someone and you say, hey, did you serve? And they say, yes, I was in da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. That's typically a good sign. Or you ask them to recite their creed. You say, well, what was your creed? And if you ask someone, or you go up to someone who doesn't know their creed, then they probably didn't serve. So I always like to go up to people and say, do you remember your creed? Like I was in the Navy, and our creed is, I am a United States sailor. I will protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed over me. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. So if they don't know their creed, they never served. You will never forget your creed. You may forget your enlistment date. You may forget when you get out. You may forget all these details, but you will not forget your creed. Anybody that served, unless they have mental illness, will never forget their creed. So that's my opinion on that. I am a United States sailor. I will protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed above me. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and those that have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my country's Navy team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. No one who ever served forgot their creed, unless their brain has got injured. I promise you they don't forget their creed. I promise you they don't forget their creed. And if they can't say it, then they have some issues. You ever play any sports? Yes. I played basketball. I was a shooting guard. I played baseball. I was a pitcher. I played football. I was a long snapper, receiver, and quarterback. I played rugby. I was a scrum half and a flanker. those are my main ones. I did some mixed martial arts. I did some judo. I did some boxing. I've always kind of played sports and kind of been moving. Remember, motion is lotion. Motion is lotion. Motion is lotion. Who do I support in basketball? No one. I don't watch sports. You asked me if I played them. I feel like I have a pretty good radar in stolen valor. Maggie, fair enough. My dad and brother were USMC. My ex was Army, and my other brother, my uncle, was a paratrooper, and I completely agree. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So Maggie, yeah, if you have those men around you, Marine Corps, Army, yeah. So you probably have an idea of who served and who didn't. 100%. A lot of people don't have that experience though. So now that you've shown me that you have that experience, you probably do have discernment 100%. Now that being said, if you ever run into someone who you're kind of question about, there's a good way. Ask them when they served, all these things, but ask them if they know their creed. I've never met someone who served that didn't know their creed. And I test this all the time because I used to live in California before I had my divorce and had to resettle and everything, right? Before I had my divorce, there was people in California that would wear uniforms all the time. And the way they wore it and the way they moved, I was just like, I just don't think this person served. Either the world just beat the hell out of this person and they lost all sense of honor. Either, you know what I mean? So, loving the high energy right now. Let's go. So I guess if I had to support a basketball team, I was a big Steph Curry fan because I was a shooting guard. And I think Steph Curry is the greatest pound for pound basketball player at his size that's ever lived. I think he's better than any other player that's ever played basketball as far as his size and his stature. Is speaking de Dutch? Donker. Is speaking de Dutch? Now, I don't really speak Dutch, but they always say that in movies. Thank you, Maggie. Maggie. Shawnee back in the house. Hello, Shawnee. I just ate, Shawnee, so now I've got some energy. So, you guys, you notice in the stream that I was kind of sucked up and then I ate my food and my body kind of... I'm telling you, if you fast 10, 15, 20 minutes after you eat some honey or some carbs when you're training, your body soaks that up. That's how you do autophagy. You go through periods where you eat. Je ne comprends más inglés. Yeah, I don't know what that means, man. Hablo un poquito español. Tengo amigos para Ecuador and El Salvador. Me gusta pupusas carnitas. Está muy delicioso. My voice cracks you up. What you mean my voice cracks you up? I hope you're not a mirror. I hope you're not a mirror, because if my voice cracks you up and you're a mirror, that's not good. That's a good one. Good morning to you. Men have a thing with food. You're talking about men and food. I mean, have you ever seen a hungry girl? There's not many things that scare me in this world, but a hungry female is at the top of the list, right beside grizzly bears. A hungry female will rip your head off for a pickle if she needs a pickle. What's worse is a hungry pregnant woman. One of the scariest things I've ever encountered in the great wilderness was angry. It wasn't about, I've seen bears. I've seen coyotes. I've seen some of the great majestic beasts in South Africa. But a hungry, angry, female pregnant woman is one of the most dangerous things. I barely got out of there with my life. She asked for pickles and anchovies and 19 different things on a pizza that only has 14 slots and expected me to carry out this mission. It was the craziest encounter I ever saw. So if you're ever in the wild and you see so you guys know sometimes I like to slip into characters. When I was growing up, I was working in a church and I used to do puppets and play with kids all day. So I had this uncanny, I don't know if I'm like Tourette's or whatever, but sometimes I just find a character and I slip into it. So that was the great hunter, the majestic wild man who encountered a pregnant, hungry female. If you're ever in the wild, don't crave for pizza. I would rip my head for an OG for a pickle. Pickles are good. Pickles are one actually, I like pickles. If you're ever in the wild, beware of the Chihuahua. I'll take my chances with the Chihuahua versus a hungry pregnant female. A hungry pregnant female ain't no joke, dude. Their reason for logic is out, but I like pickles too. Somebody asked me about pickles. Well, these are my pickles. I have these pickles. And this. I like pickles too. When I'm trying to get lean, as you guys know, when I try to cut body fat, if I'm trying to look really good, like I'm gonna go, let's say my sister's having a party and I wanna go over there. Pickle time, pickle, 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 pickle time, pickle time, pickle, pickle, pickle time. Yeah, I like pickles. Pickles are actually a really good way if you wanna get leaner. You can eat pickles anytime you're hungry and they probably have no calories. And also, when it comes to pickles, a lot of people think it's gross. But I drink the pickle juice when I train. I love pickle juice. I love pickle juice! I love pickle. No, pickles are good because pickles have a lot of electrolytes in them, and I find when I'm sweating, nothing makes me feel better than pickle juice. I'd rather drink pickle juice than water. I love pickle juice. Excuse me. My apologies for burping on camera. I love me some pickle juice. Yeah, pickles are amazing, dude. See, I like a very yummy, pungent, spicy. And the thing is, a lot of the pickle juice is somewhat kind of fermented, so I think it's really good for the gut because I do eat bacon and I do eat eggs and butter. So I had this theory that if I'm gonna put that stuff in my body, that your body has to kind of work a little harder to break those fats down. So I found that pickle juice kind of helped balance out the alkalinity in my body. So there's more than just reasons just to eat pickles. Oh my God, pickles. So this one question is, do y'all in America have Tesco or Sainsbury's or Morrison's? Is that a brand of pickle? My brand of pickle is typically, I get the big deal pickles, which have a little bit of citric acid in it and stuff, but I try to get the kosher style because I drink the pickle juice as basically like my Gatorade. I used to go out and play sports and I would just drink these are shops. Morrison's, Tesco. I typically go to Aldi's. Aldi's is the closest thing, but we're out in the middle of the country. I still go to Walmart, even though I don't like a lot of Walmart stuff. I have limited choices because of where I live now. There's just not a lot of options for a lot of places. So I go to an Aldi's or a Walmart, or if I go deeper into the city, a lot of times I go to liquidator stores like Marshall's or Ross's. And a lot of the stuff I get, my pastas or my perishable stuff, like my shelf life stuff, I go to liquidator stores and I get it 50, 60% off, because when I eat pastas and breads, again, I started eating more carbs recently because I was getting like tired. I try to get my carbs and stuff from Italy and Peru, so it's not got all the glyphosates and GMOs on it. So I found that if you shop strategically, you can find really good quality food that's imported at good prices, especially at liquidator stores. Yep. You never been to a Walmart or Target? Okay, Aldi's. Yep. Yeah, so Target's good, but Target, a lot of times, in my opinion, is a bit overpriced for the quality they give. But you do get a cleaner store and better customer service, so I get why people go there. Walmart, it's hit or miss. You guys know how Walmarts are. Sometimes they're great if their management's good. Have you ever had a flavored toothpick? Yes, I used to chew on cinnamon flavored toothpicks. Chewing on a toothpick helps ground me. So if you guys are anything like me, if you kind of have a brain that's always like, pew, 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 let's do this, right? Like I am. Chewing on a toothpick helps ground you. And yeah, when you're grounded, you basically perform better. All right, never been to a Walmart, swelled by Aldi. If I eat pickle, it makes me such a... I don't know, man. It has the opposite effect on me. When I eat pickles, it makes me so happy, so I choose to eat them a lot. Pickles are like one of my favorite snacks. All right, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to go check. I'm going to leave this chat because I'm on my phone and I need to respond to this text message. One of my friends texted me. I'll be right back. And we're back. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much concludes what I would say today's stream. We've been going for about an hour and a half. Pickles bring me joy. Here we go. Said pickles bring me joy. I can see that. Let me put this over here. If you guys want to see, sometimes at night, this is my bed. I need to make it, but you can see, this is my Tempur-Pedic. I love my Tempur-Pedic bed, but as you can see, you see how I have all these books and all these stuff. This is what my bed looks like. So at nighttime, those are the books I'm reading. So I sleep right there. And yeah. So anyways, let's see here. All right, time to put my swag shirt on. You guys know how I like my swag shirts. This is actually one of my favorite shirts. I really like this shirt. My $3 shirt at Goodwill. Whoop-bam! What's up, guys? It's your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Coach Chris. Do-do-do-do-do. Boop, boop. There we go. Well, you got to put smiles on people's faces. You know what? There's only one other thing I think I'm going to do right quick. I'm considering going and playing a little bit of piano. You guys want me to go back into the studio and play a little bit of piano before we wrap it up? Seems like a lot of you do kind of like my music when I play. Would that be something? Would that be something that would entertain you people? Would you guys like it if I played a little bit of the old piano? The old piano. Yes, that is a picture of me. As you can see, I have a shirt hanging out, and my entire outfit cost me like $7 from Goodwill. Because one of the things that I try to teach people is instead of spending money on all these things, you could spend less money on these things, still have nice things, and you could take the extra money and you could put it into the stock market, into an index fund, and thus it would grow faster. And then you could perhaps have an ability to create an estate one day. There we go. Put that there. And we're outside. Whoa, bam. We still have snow. See how the signal is? We still have snow out here, you see, guys? Still have snow over there. Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. Look, I have a wardrobe that has like a nice coat and all this stuff, but at the same time, because most of my work that I do these days is more virtual sales, you know, I'm doing more business over the phone and doing more business meetings. Typically, all I have to do is like, I have a nice coat, like a vest I throw over a t-shirt if I'm gonna go on a Zoom, and and half the time I'm in shorts. So they only see me from the waist up on the Zoom. Anyways, let's come in here. The internet might second when I switch to the other modem. Okie artichokey, okie dokie artichokey. And we're back in the shed, the studio, where for some reason, some people think I live at. It always blows my mind how many people think I live here in this little thing. Although, to tell you the truth, I could live in here. Like, I have a nice couch, futon, internet, computer. I could so live here if I had to. If I had to live in this spot, I lived in a tent in Afghanistan for a while, and it wasn't nearly this nice. So, I could so totally live in this thing. But no, I do not live here, guys. Although I do spend a lot of time in here. This is my place where I get out of the house. You guys do know I do somewhat have a family. And you guys, if you don't know, my family does not like being on stream at all. So, they are very much against that. Half the time, they think I'm nuts. They're like, why? I can't believe you think people gonna come in there and look at anything. Do they really come in there? It's like, you should come in my chat. Sometimes they come in. Sometimes, but not very often. Pop here. Turn this over here. Pop this right here. 1 second. 1 second. Pop this up here. Do 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 do. Alright, let's cut this on. Come up here. 1 second. All right. Here's to the ones that we lost. Cheers to the ones that we have. All right, guys, I'm just getting the chats up real quick. Let me go into the chat. There we go. And we are here now. Hello. And we are here. Oh, hi. I'm in the chat now. Okie dokie, and now we are in the chat. 2 people still left. There we go. There we go. Yep, answer in chat. Start Paul. Sounds good. Yeah, sometimes I think, oh, JMP's back. I thought about it. I've been working on this new little thing because, guys, my brother, I haven't told you, is an audio engineer, and he does really good work. And a few people have asked me if I would put some of my music on Spotify. And, you know, I'm going to be the first to say, my music is not super complicated to me. I don't really think it's that impressive, but because people have told me, Chris, I like your music. It makes me happy. When I'm sad, it makes me feel good. So, if I have the ability to put music that makes people feel good and feel happy, I'd kind of feel silly not to be able to do it. And yes, I am. I also got this little circle of fifths thing for all the people who like music. I'll put this right here. The circle of fifths. Let me grab this right here. Let me put this right here. And then for this, we'll put right here. Like, comment, subscribe. This little circle of fifths is something that if anybody that wants to learn music, this is something that's kind of important, I guess you could say. It's kind of a way to understand how music works. So you have the key of C, and if you go up 5, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, and it's kind of a good tool. So if you're looking to, you know, learn more about it, I recommend getting a dial tone. It's kind of a cool tool. Anyways, yes, I am going to play JMP. Ow! I stumped my toe. I stumped my toe. Put this over here. There we go. Got the coffee going. Whew, it is getting hot in here, though. For some reason, the metrics show when I take my shirt off and wear a tank top, I get more viewers. Does that mean that I look good, or do people just think that they feel sorry for me? Oh no. But when I wear a tank top, I get more viewers for some reason. Yes, I am going to play. Welcome in, JMP. How are you? Because I'm JMP. Hello, friend. Nice to see you again. Also, take a moment to say hi to everyone in the chat. The Blue Crew is trusted. Always remember that love is greater than hate. Easy to hate, hard to love. Easy to hate, hard to love. Anyways, now just some simple music. I'm working on a few things. Like I've been working. one too. This is a good one. Yeah, and we got that. Boo. Boo. lights dry my eyeballs out. A lot of times people wonder why I wear my glasses inside, because these things like dry my eyes out. You're like, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. So let's just take an exercise where we go through the circle of fifths, right? C, D, G, D. So we're going to go C to an F, to a B, to an E flat, to an A flat, to a C sharp, to an F sharp, to a C flat, to a C flat, to an E, to an A, to a D, to a G, to a C, to a C, to a G, to a D, to an A, to an E, to a B, to an F sharp, to a C sharp, to an A flat, to an E flat, to a B flat, to an F, back to a C. And that is going through the circle of fifths in an arpeggio. In an arpeggio. Cocktail piano style. You guys, I got something new for you. I don't think JMP's heard this. I've been working on a cocktail piano formula, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, E4, 1, 2, 3, E4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, D, G, C, diminished. Then we put the right hand in an octave. cocktail jazz. It's like. Looking at the chats. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're in the chat, feel free to drop something. Always appreciate when people come in. Again, guys, I'm just practicing off the top of my head. Oh, there's something fun. What if I can get some better speakers? So this has a power Whoa! If I could connect this to my computer, then I could have that sound come out of those speakers. That would be a wonderful idea. Yes, yes, yes. I do not know if I can do that, but I just thought that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea, actually. I need an HDMI connector. Okay, guys, I got to go through my stuff here because I just figured out something. Because the thing is, if I could take that sound, this is where my brother is an audio engineer is so totally going to help me. And if he helps me, I'm going to give him money. I'm going to give him money if he helps me. Anyways, guys, I'm looking for a connector. So what I need is an HDMI that connects to the host, maybe? Is that the one that I need? That is a specific cable. Is this the one? I will be right back. Is this the one that I need? We are here. All right, guys, I am still into the chat. I'm just kind of, oh my gosh, my mind's kind of focused on something right now. And I'm one of those people where when I get like an idea, I immediately start working on it for something, especially with, I think I just had a profound idea for music. Now the question is, will I be able to do what I'm going to try to do? You see, that could connect there, but that's not the right setting. So I'm wondering if I have the right piece to that. Got all that. That's not the right one. That's not the right one. That's not the right one. I wonder if it'd be better just to go USB to USB and plug the USB into there. Probably better to do USB to USB. Guys, I'm in the chat. Feel free to ask me anything while I'm looking through all this stuff. There we go. I think this should go over here. I'm pretty sure this goes with this. pretty sure this goes with this. Yeah, like StarTech. Pretty sure, like 100% sure. I am here. So we have that, we have that, we have that, we have that, we have that. It just feels like that should be able to connect into that. And if I do a USB to USB, then that should be able to work. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go play around with this and try to figure it out. You guys are welcome to talk to me in the chat while I'm doing this. From time to time, I am looking up and looking into the chat, just for what it's worth. I really do feel like that USB to USB is the way to go. Something is telling me that is the way to do it. Something is telling me that's probably the right way to do it. So we have that. So I know that hooks into this. What if I hook this into that? So here's a MIDI, and if I take this, will this stretch out this far? I need one of these, but a little bit longer. I need one of these, but a little bit longer. Feel free to ask me anything in the chat, guys. Anybody that's watching, this does help me for my time, so I appreciate you. It really does help me when I'm trying to get monetized, so. We are over here. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm going through some connectors and stuff. Feel free to ask me anything in the chat. Charger. Don't need that. 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 I guess I could do audio to audio if I really had to. Well, there's one. There's one of the ones that I need. I'm looking into chat, guys, so if you have a question or want to talk to me, you want to engage, I am here to engage with the people. Not that one. This one right here, perhaps. There's a cord. Will this work? I do not think this is going to work. Ooh. Yeah, if you just heard that, that was definitely a fart. Anyways. Shout out in the comments. Do you ever fart? All right. What is... Yeah, keep it respectful. That's all I ask. Anybody in the chat? Just keep it respectful, man. Is that too much to ask for? Too much to ask for people to come in and be respectful? I don't care if you give me chats or super chats or anything. I don't really care. I just want you to be respectful. And if you're not respectful, then I have moderators that'll kick you out. Or I'll kick you out myself. That is all. So, we have that. I know that port, if I had a long enough one, could reach there. All these cables, but I don't think I have the right one. Oh yeah, there's my microphone. Maybe I should try to use that sometime. My Boya microphone. There's a good one. Seems like the only option here is going to be using this cable. All right. Never said. Chris, my mom, but keep it respectful. Yeah, of course. I tell people all the time if the parents come into the chat, just so you know, a lot of people think I'm a little bit nuts because I'm kind of scattermined sometimes, but if you have parents in here, yeah. So anyone that comes into my chat room, I do my best. I'm a Navy veteran. I like to play music and stuff. So I'm a business owner. I sell insurance policies. I'm a resident agent in the state of Georgia. So if you have your family in here, I have some chickens and I talk about all sorts of stuff. But at the end of the day, I guess what I try to tell the parents is I do my best to not let the weird people come in and talk about like sexually explicit stuff or things like that. I do my best to ban them and keep them under control. I can't control everybody, but I do tell everybody that I can. Be respectful when you're in the chat. So for all the parents who are like, oh my God, there's this guy on YouTube and he's kind of nuts and stuff. Well, it is what it is, but I'm not one of those creepy, weird people, just for what it's worth. So I like to tell the parents that. 10-year Navy vet, for what it's worth. Oh, you're very welcome. So yeah, JMP, see, what I'm trying to do is take this and I'm going to plug it through my laptop, and then if I can do that, I think I have an idea for something that'll sound really good. Anyways, stay good, and hopefully I will see you next time. Hopefully I will see you next time. We will put this here for now, just for now. And then we're going to take this. Maybe I'll have this figured out by the next time you come in, JMP. That would be cool, right? Come over here. Slide this bad boy over here. Not knocking over my coffee, because knocking over coffee would not be a good idea. Pop this over here. This goes over here. We're going to put this right here. Right here. And then this, if I'm thinking right, should go into the back of here. Huh, if the cord's long enough, right? Is it long enough? Ow. Just barely. Okay, well that's cool. So now the MIDI's plugged in. So now, if I go into here, so we have the MIDI controller plugged in. That's a good start. Now the question is, if I go into here, and I go into sound settings, device, let's go into, oh, that's not going to work. It's going to come into here, but now I'm going to need a DAWs. Okay, well that's not going to work the way I wanted it to. But what I might be able to do is do this. Okay, I might be overthinking this. What I might be able to do is to take this. So this is connected to that, and the speakers are connected to that. So if I take this cord right here, so this has this is right, this is left. This has this. That doesn't have that connector into it. This needs power to power it. I don't think this is going to work, but maybe it would. Let's just see. If I take this and just put it in the back of this, I just want to see what happens because I've never done that. I just want to see what it sounds like. All I want to do is just see if it works. See, that's not going to work. Okie dokie. It is what it is. My brother's going to be here Friday, and he's going to help me with this. Luckily, he's an audio engineer, so he's really good at this stuff. A lot better than I am. You see, my thinking was, here's the issue, okay? All right. Well, that's a good time to stop. I think we've kind of extracted as much chat as we could out of this. Guys, I'll see you next time. Stay blessed. Awesome. God bless.